It works.
It does. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Genz Memorial Investment Fund webinar. Today is March 26th, 2021, and my name is Emily Legel. I'm the Executive Director of Northwest Illinois Economic Development. The Genz Memorial Investment Program is our latest investment fund for the businesses of Carroll and Joe Davis counties, and this presentation will go over what you need to know as an applicant. Note that this session is being recorded, and if you ever have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me either during the presentation or after. And once technology works, we will be uploading this to YouTube and social media, so feel free to share with anyone who may be interested. A quick overview of what we're going over today. Today we're going to do a quick about the trust. We're going to cover Northwest Illinois Economic Development. We're going to cover the goals of the trust, application requirements, award area, review criteria, and frequently asked questions. If I do not know the answer to the question, I will make a note of it, and feel free to follow up with me after this, because this is a new program and we're still figuring things out. So, per the trust documentation, the trust is for making grants to qualified persons in the Galena trade area for either starting or maintaining a small business, including farming. It is my intention to help the persons of good character and sound business potential who are otherwise not qualified to obtain loans through ordinary lending institutions. Jack Genz was the son of a couple of merchants from Galena. He was raised in Galena in the 1950s and before too long moved away to San Francisco so he could be with his lover, which was because Mr. Genz was gay, he was not openly out in the community at that time. However, despite living in San Francisco for a couple of decades, he retained a love for his community and ended up leaving a trust worth about $850,000 to the Galena School District to be used for scholarships, and then this portion of the trust to be used for investing in small businesses. Northwest Illinois Economic Development has taken on a role with Illinois Bank and Trust as the steward of this trust and making awards from the generous investments on an annual basis to the businesses of the Galena trade area, which we define as Carroll and Joe Davis counties. Quick overview about Northwest Illinois Economic Development. We basically exist to promote economic development by fostering business growth. We assist expanding and relocating businesses of all sizes and determining their needs for growth with the cooperation of government and business partners on the state, local, and regional levels. We also encourage entrepreneurs by assisting with access to resources to begin and grow their businesses, and we work with all available resources to create a welcoming business environment, including workforce and building political and economic capital. There are 3 of us on the team, me, the executive director, David Schmidt, my program coordinator, and Christine Sote, my marketing coordinator, along with the board of 13, I believe, and we're a 501c6 membership organization, largely funded by Joe Carroll Energy, Joe Davis County, and Illinois Bank and Trust as our 3 largest sponsors. So, the goals of the Genz Trust are 1, to help businesses in the Galena trade area. This can be any business, including agriculture, in Joe Davis or Carroll counties. Anyone may apply. We do not care about your industry. We just want to know what you're making and how you're contributing. Next, we want to start and maintain a small business. We want to start new projects and foster growth. You can start a new project under the pilot category. You can purchase an existing business, a really big need we've seen as many businesses over the past 2 years retire, and we continue to see our businesses owners age. You can also invest in equipment or capital for expansion. The third part is most critical. Those who have trouble seeking traditional bank financing. In order to be eligible for this project, the business must not be able to demonstrate the ability to finance the entire project for growth on their own, including with help from the bank. This Genz Trust is intended to fill a gap between the money you have down or the equity you provide to the bank and what the bank will give you. It's what's known as gap financing, and the Genz Trust does not have to be repaid. However, we do strongly recommend working with other gap financing tools, lending opportunities such as CPACE, the Joe Davis County Revolving Loan Fund, and traditional SBA funds. Requirements for application. First of all, we want you to be working with an existing bank. We strongly believe that each business is part of a team, and that team should include a bank, an accountant, and a lawyer. And we will be working with your banks to determine your need for capital. We like a defined project and budget so we know what you're spending the money on, just so we can get a sense of where you are, and our committee of board members can evaluate your true need. We do require a business plan signed off on by a small business development center or a similar consultant. We recommend the Small Business Development Center because they're free. And if you need a contact for them, please let me know. We also like 2 character references as defined by business owners of good character, unrelated to you. And most importantly, we require a letter from your lender stating the need for capital qualifications before and after the award. Basically, we want them to demonstrate the need. In the original application, we had said a letter of denial. However, after speaking to the banker who administers the trust, we thought that was a bit harsh. So we simply need a letter from your banker on company stationery or from their work email saying that here's the amount you're going to get before you get this fund, and here's the amount you'll get, assuming you get the $4,000 to $8,000. We also like a cover letter, get to know you personally, because we do have a few applicants, and financial statements for the business and for all owners totaling a majority share of the business. We have to do a character check. Part of the deal. Award areas, capital projects. These are projects that can result in new buildings, land, or equipment. Be a new storefront in downtown Galena. It could be a new lawnmower for an excavating company, or it could be land if you're a farmer trying to acquire some additional acreage. Second of all, you can buy an existing business. Whether you're looking to buy a grocery store, UPS store, nursery, retailer, restaurant, etc., we strongly believe that these legacy businesses are important and they're hard to get financing for. So as long as you're taking advantage of buying an existing company, we will help you do that. The final area is kind of a wild card. Pilot projects. It can be a startup business. It can be an experiment, like a pumpkin patch on a traditional crop farm, or something you're trying to do to see if it can increase sales, like maybe starting an online warehousing business. It's really up to you. Show us what you want to use it for. Each award will be $4,000 to $8,000, with a total amount of awards not to exceed $18,000, so we can keep the trust going into perpetuity. Applicants will be graded on the following areas. 1, application completeness. Please fill out all sections of the application and provide all required documentation. Incomplete applications, including missing documentation, will not be considered. If you have questions about documentation required, please let me know and I would be happy to answer them. Next, financial statements. Now that we have your financial statements, we want to make sure your business is in otherwise good standing. Are you current on your taxes? Is your business working towards profitability? We look at profit and loss statements as well as owners' financial statements. And we especially want to see how you're making the most of the existing resources, like the Joe Davis County Revolving Loan Fund, if you're in Joe Davis County, like USDA funds through Joe Carroll and others, or Small Business Administration funds, the traditional kind, as well as PPP, because the SBA does have some gap financing that we really strongly recommend as well. Next, we want to look at business viability. How does a business plan on using their funds to further their growth? Will the gap in funding be enough to make the project viable? Why is the business in need? And how will the funds make a difference? And finally, what steps is a business taking to ensure long-term viability? Are you diversifying your offerings? Are you investing in an online shop? Are you creating a succession plan or a disaster plan in case the inevitable happens? Finally, we want to look at long-term impact. Does the business play a critical function in the community, like a grocery store or like one of the few restaurants? Is there a story behind it? Does the business want to scale? Economic developers especially, we want to help the businesses who sell their goods and services to people outside the area as well as locals. It's not a requirement, but we like to see it. Finally, How does the business relate to other community members? Is it a chamber member? Do you work with any causes like the meals, football team? What's your impact on the community? What kind of impact do you hope to have if you're a startup? Finally, what are your long-term plans for the business? We want to know that you've thought about it, even though plans can change. Do you want to pass this business on to your grandkids? Do you want to set up a community trust fund? Do you want to scale and start a franchise of pizza places around the area? We want to know why we should pick you instead of any other business that may apply for this. We want to see you grow. Next steps after this: 1, make your plan. Make your business plan, including a timeline, project budget, and competition. That's one of the things I see most messed up in my business plans. Make your budget. Know your ask, know your current funding level, and know your reward amount from the bank, as well as the reward you want from us, and be able to show why. Finally, submit your application and submit your documentation. We ask that all applications be submitted via email or mail at April 30th at 5 p.m. So you have more than a month. I trust you. If you have questions, if you want us to review your application, I won't be on the review committee itself, but I can definitely look it over and talk to you, as well as talk about any other gap financing mechanisms that you might be interested in pursuing, like the Davis County Revolving Loan Fund. Some frequently asked questions. Do I need to work with a bank? Yes, you do need to have a bank, but you choose the bank you work with. Whether it be U.S. Bank, Citizen State Bank, Savannah Thompson State Bank, Illinois Bank and Trust, we don't care. We work with banks, credit unions, but we do need to see that. Do I need to put money down? While it is not required to put money down, we strongly encourage it. Running a business is very risky, and we want to know that you have some reserves to cover things in case things go bad, like the economy or something else. And considering that our review committee is very heavy on the financial side of things, I think they'd want to see that. What industries are eligible? Any and all, including farming, including restaurants, retailers, manufacturers, lawn care companies, pet groomers, and anything in between. We at Northwest Illinois Economic Development strongly believe that business and the economy is constantly changing, and the industries that need help, we don't know always, and we never know what's going to be the industry of the future. So if you have a good plan or a good idea, reach out to us. We'll definitely take a look. Can this money be used to recover from COVID-19? No. This money is set aside for businesses who are looking to grow their operations or to purchase an existing business. There have been many funds available to businesses seeking to recover from COVID, and because of the investment required on these COVID relief programs, we've seen bankers have to take time away from working with the clients who are trying to expand and focus on those who are trying to stay alive. This program, at least this year, is specifically focused on businesses who want to grow and impact the area long term. Mr. Genz wanted to have an impact, so we do too. Can this be used for new ventures? Absolutely. This money is available to those who have been in business for 10 plus years or those who are just thinking about getting a location on Main Street. When will I receive the funds? Funds will be awarded by the end of June. Northwest Illinois Economic Development hopes to have their initial review done by June 1st, and with the board voting on the official awards at our June board meeting, which is the second Thursday. Date, I do not know off the top of my head. What questions do you have in the audience for me? My contact information is on the screen. Any specific questions? What can I do to help you learn? Note that a copy of the slides will be available after this, as well as a copy of the recording. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, reach out to me in the future, and I'm happy to take any of your questions